Hello everyone, and welcome to another Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. review. Today we are taking a look at Season 7, Episode 11, A Brand New Day. I think that's what it's called. Actually, I just now realized that I didn't check the title since it aired. It's whatever. The proper title will be attached to the opening of this review. So yeah, we are in the end game now, to quote a certain doctor of the mystical arts. We only have 2 episodes left. They are both happening next week in a 2-hour-long series finale. It's going to be exciting, but we have a bunch of setup for for those 2 episodes from this week. So let's go ahead and get right into it. While I think I am going to go ahead and just start off with a complaint just to get it out of the way. Is still not really buying the whole Daisy Sousa thing. I'm not buying it. It just doesn't seem. I don't know. Maybe again, this is one of those things. I kind of touched on this when I talked about it last time, a couple reviews ago. But I feel like that it's moved too fast. I feel like Sousa's become attached to Daisy way too quickly for him to really be seeing anything in her. I think it would have been better if Daisy had started to like him on her own in the time loop without Sousa having any sort of feelings for her. Maybe he has feelings for her in terms of, loyalty to his new teammate, some sort of protectiveness over her, blah, blah, blah. But, which is what I thought it was to begin with. But then the show kind of just immediately throws in oh no, he's protective of her because he likes her. It's not working for me. It's not working for me. But that being said, it did lead to some fun moments this episode, where you have Mac talking with both Daisy and Sousa independent of one another, and it's like that. Okay, those were some fun conversations. I enjoyed those about them not being really subtle at all, and Mac immediately noticing that they kind of like each other, and then of course. His whole, it's like, what are your intentions with Daisy? It's like, I'm not sure I have really any intentions. Like, well, you better get some quick, because when she likes something, that was pretty funny. And then the whole making fun of her superhero name, Quake, Quake being her name, is like dude from the 50s, obviously, not exactly, still not used to this, the way these people from the 21st century do things. It's like, I don't know if maybe that's something on the production team that they've never really quite liked the name Quake, but they've been using this character, so they've had to use the name because they don't use it all that often. Honestly, it gets name dropped here or there, but usually they just call her Daisy or Agent Johnson. They don't really call her Quake all that often. So I guess it's just, this was just their one little moment to poke fun. It's a little bit of a silly name, but it's a comic book show, so of course they're going to have some silly superhero names. So yeah, that was really my only complaint about the episodes. I'm still not really buying the whole Daisy Sousa thing. We've only got 2 episodes left, so we'll see where that goes, if it goes anywhere at all. But so that's really my only complaint about the episode. We'll move on to some other things now. So it's funny because in my review I was about to say my review of last week, but there wasn't a review last week. On my review on Monday, because again, I was on vacation last week, so I wasn't able to get a review up when I usually upload reviews. So the review for last week's episode went up on Monday. So this is now your second S.H.I.E.L.D. review of the week. When I said in that review on Monday that I wonder what they're gonna do to kind of pay homage to some of the stuff from season 1. And it's like, what are they gonna do about Grant Ward? So when's Fitz gonna be back? I'm missing me some Fitz. It's like, it's like we got both of those. We got both of those in this episode, which I find is hilarious. So Grant Ward didn't appear, but he got a substantial name drop mention, and a bit of the conversation revolved around him for a bit, which was which was good. The show going back to its roots because Ward was such a big figure in the show for its first 3 seasons. And then we got Fitz. It's flashback Fitz, but we actually got Fitz. It was flashback Fitz for a while there too. I thought that's all they were going to have was just the old footage from previous seasons, and it's so crazy to see how much these guys have changed and grown over the years. Because there was that one clip from, I think, season 3 where Fitz and Simmons are talking in the lab, and Simmons is talking about, it's like, oh, it's all just professional. Where's the warmth? Where's the friendliness that we used to have? Because this was like right after she got back from Mavith, and she had that thing with the astronaut who may or may not have been Hive the entire time. And so, but they still wanted to, go out together. It's like that was super complicated, and so. They had a flashback there. I think they even did a they did a flashback to season 1 as well when they were stuck in that box at the bottom of the ocean. We were seeing flashback Fitz, but I didn't really think we would see Fitz. But then he showed up in the actual flashback, and then Enoch showed up there as well. So it's like I thought he was just going to be done on the show. He wasn't going to be back, but no, they brought him back for these. Technically speaking, his character is done, but there's these flashbacks, which flashbacks give you a little wiggle room to work around in, so you can bring in like dead characters and stuff. And so seeing Enoch again, it's like, oh yeah, this friendly face, and then Fitz walked in. So we actually got Fitz back for all of maybe 10 minutes, if that, through intermitted throughout the episode there, the second half. And hey, I got what I asked for. I said, hey, where's Fitz? I want me some Fitz back, and we got Fitz back. So yay, we got Fitz back. So hopefully he has a bigger role to play in the next 2 episodes, because based on this episode, is he dead? I mean, they kind of questioned that in the previous episode or the episode before that, but now, but that's one of those things like, well, we as the audience don't have enough information to really make a good guess on that. But now the show kind of seems to be telegraphing: is Fitz dead? Did he get cancer or something? Did he? Stupid universe. Fitzsimmons really are cursed. I mean, holy cow. They finally have this chance to live a little, be together, and he gets cancer and dies. That sucks. That totally sucks. These timelines are stupid. Because in one timeline, I guess they grew old together, and they had a daughter together so she could grow up and marry some guy and then produce a Deke. But then that timeline doesn't exist anymore because they stopped Graviton in season 5. And so then, now in this timeline, they're building a bloody time machine, and then in the middle of it, he gets cancer and dies. Did he accidentally expose himself to something that was radioactive in the process of building the time machine, and that's what? It's like, holy cow! I was like, how are they going to clear this up in the last 2 episodes? I really want to know. It's like, come on, you can't give Fitzsimmons an unhappy ending. Come on, for Pete's sake, it's Fitzsimmons. They've had enough unhappiness. Just let them be happy. Come on, show writers. So yeah, I'm super interested to see where that's going. And I don't know. It may have been the filter or something because the flashbacks were kind of desaturated a little bit. But the filter that had on, I don't know if it was the filter that was doing this, but Fitz looked a little different. He looked a little leaner. So I don't know if maybe he was, for whatever other things he had been doing that made him not be able to do this entire season of S.H.I.E.L.D. if he had to work out a bit or something, because he looked a little leaner. He didn't necessarily look bulkier, but he looked a little leaner, like he was maybe a little more cut. Just his face looked a little thinner. I don't know. Maybe he's just growing older, so he's lost some of that baby fat or something like that. I don't know, but he looked a little different, which I found interesting. But man, it was good. It was good to see him again. I'm excited to see what stuff he has to do in the next 2 episodes, if any. I hope he has stuff to do in the next 2 episodes. He better have stuff to do in the next 2 episodes, because if we just get him in these little flashbacks for the season and that's it, it's like, that's gonna suck. But oh well. So Nathaniel kind of going a little off the deep end a little bit. He seems to be going a little crazy. He was a little more mean It's like he's been doing evil stuff all season since he was reintroduced, but he never really was mean about it. He would just kind of do it, and he would have this kind of psychotic joy about killing someone or something like that. But in this episode, he's a little more angry. He's a little more mean. There's that guy that kept calling him sir, and he doesn't like to be called sir. And then he just like crushed that dude's chest with his quake powers or something like that. It's like, ugh, like, why did I tell you about calling me sir? So he's this is the part where the villain's starting to get closer to their goal, which makes them a little more antsy, and they're starting to get a little more angry, a little more unpredictable, and a little more violent. But it's also going to mean that they're going to become a little more overconfident, which will probably usually that means that that's their downfall. So, So I mentioned Deke a minute ago. Speaking of Deke, he had a great moment at the beginning of the episode where you think this whole episode's going to go as he's trapped on board the Zephyr with all these people. Where did all these people come from, by the way? Did they make another stop before they left the atmosphere? I guess they made another stop before they left the atmosphere, because when they left I suppose Garrett could have just Gordoned around and done a bunch of poofs and brought people on board. But all those people were not there at the end of the last episode, so I kind of question where they came from. But Deke just kind of pokes his head around the corner, and he has a great line. He says, it's going to be just like Nakatomi Plaza, with a reference to Die Hard. Nice show, nice. And then it's like, oh, is he going to go all John McClane on him? Is he, one man against everyone? And then there's Garrett with a plasma rifle. He just kind of goes, yippee-ki-yay, which, considering when in the 80s this takes place, I don't think Die Hard had come out yet, but when does that stop Deke from referencing and stealing things from the future that he knows are going to happen? Like, don't forget about me. So that was a great way to open the episode with Deke, and man, he really got it tough this episode, because he kept getting punched and stuff and beat up. And it's like the makeup work, the blood makeup work, very good on this show. It always has been, and especially in this episode. It looked like you could see the big old gash in his forehead and stuff. That really looked like that hurt. So so this episode was really kind of a lot of build up and set up, for these last two episodes, and then we're going to get payoff in those. So basically, at this point, it seems like Simmons has forgotten Fitz. And, of course, Daisy, Mac, and Sousa are in the Quinjet waiting to dock with the Zephyr, but I don't think that's going to happen at this point. And then there's Korra, the legend of Korra herself. Korra... I don't know what to think about Korra. I don't know if she's conflicted now, or if she's more resolved to be the bad guy, or what. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, because I could see her, because she definitely seemed conflicted when she saw her mom's body sitting there, but then she did the whole I'm brainwashed Stockholm syndrome thing, where she tried to she was trying to justify Nathaniel's actions, like, oh, no, he must have had a purpose for killing her. It's okay, I didn't like her anyway, blah, blah, blah. But, she's definitely unhinged, that's for sure. She just straight up murdered that one guy. Just a hole right through the chest. The teleporting knives guy. So, I don't really have too much more to say about this episode. Like I said, it was a lot of setup, and I can't really speak too much. The setup was fine. Again, I'm just still not really on board with Daisy and Sousa, but I guess we'll see where that goes, and then we'll see how the series wraps up. So next week, the last review, the series finale review. Like I said on Monday, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to it because it's like, I can't wait to see how it ends. But at the same time, I don't want it to end. The show's been on since 2013, so it's going to be sad to see it go. But oh well, all good things must come to an end, and just like this review. So so that'll be it for this review. I'll see you guys next week for the series finale. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.